So I'm going to teach you how you could start a 10K per month AI automation agency from scratch, even if you have no experience, even if you have no idea what you're doing. So a little bit about myself. My name is Keon. I've been in the agency space for almost 3 years now. I started doing social media marketing agency back in like 2021, 2022-ish. And then I just evolved my offer over time. So now I finally kind of settled on AI automation agency. So what is AI automation agency? Pretty much you help clients automate and streamline their processes using AI. And what that does is for bigger businesses, it really allows them to kind of scale. So their bottleneck, it might just be that they can't scale. They might be relying on manual labor to do everything. I have seen that a lot where they just have VAs doing everything, which is both expensive and it takes a lot of time. But if you just have the computer do it, you can bypass all of that and it's infinite. Even 1 year from now, the automation is still going to work. So they're never going to have to hire that person again. So before we get started, I just want to show you my Stripe dashboard, just so you can see that I actually know what I'm talking about pretty much. And you know, these are not any crazy numbers. There are people doing 100K per month, $1 million a month agencies. I think this is very reasonable for a beginner. And this is a brand new agency that I just launched. So this agency has only been doing business for 2 months. So as you can see, this current month is 998, and compared to the previous month is 999. So that's 10K a month for 2 months consistently now. And this is just obviously from the AI automation business. We also do some other projects on the side and whatnot. All right, let's dive straight into it and show you how you can actually do this for yourself. So first of all, how do you even, like, what is a business? A business is pretty much when you have customers and the customers, they have money. I know that's not very good at all. So they have money and they pretty much, they have some kind of problem. However you want to say it, problem, to need, something. This is where you come in. This is your agency and they're willing to pay you, and in return, you're going to give them some kind of product or service. Or if you're really smart, you can do a productized service. So you're going to give them the productized service or the product or service, and they're going to give you money. Now, the first thing is you have to figure out, like, what are you even going to sell? So in our case right now, we're doing AI automation. Once you have the customers giving you money, now you have a business. So what are the 3 principles which I'm going to outline in this video? Number 1 is you need to have a clear offer and avatar. Number 2, you need to have predictable lead flow. And number 3, you need to be able to hire and delegate. These are the 3 things that you need to build an agency. Now, for the first one, clear offer and avatar. Like I said, if you don't know exactly what you're selling, if you don't know exactly what you can offer your clients, it's going to be very hard to sell them or to convince them to give you the money consistently over time, unless they know exactly what you're getting, right? So in my case, I know specifically anything technical or AI or any kind of automation stuff, process, systems, CRM, anything like that my clients need, I'm gonna be able to provide that for them. And it's very defined. So we know specifically in that scope, tech, automations, systems, that's exactly what I can do for that monthly retainer. So if you don't have a clear offer and avatar, it's gonna be very difficult for selling them. You know, I remember when I first started, I was just trying to do anything that I could, right? Whether it be just one-off jobs or just literally anything. And the problem with that is there's no recurringness because you're just doing one-off things, right? Unless you can specifically fit in a certain part of the business, then it's going to be very hard for the clients to keep you on board for a long period of time. And if you can't stay on, then you're just going to be in that hamster wheel of chasing clients, and it's not really a business. That's like pretty much a full-time job. You're just trading in one boss for 10 bosses at that point. So definitely not worth it. You want to have strong and consistent relationships, and you want to have them over time. And the only way you can do that is by knowing exactly what you can offer and just pretty much outsource that entire part of the business of your client to yourself. So that means they don't even have to worry about that part anymore. And the second part of that is the avatar, right? That's on the other side of the offer. So you have your offer, and then you have your avatar as the person who specifically that offer fits to. The offer is for your avatar. And so who's your avatar? Your avatar can be like business owners. It's basically like who and what industry. So who is it, what industry, and then what problem. If you're doing an AI automation agency, for example, you don't want to go sell to other technical co-founders or something like that, technical founders. You don't want to sell to a tech company necessarily because they can already do it, right? So they might not have the problem, they don't have the need. So you're not going to be that's not the right customer avatar for you, right? So you want to figure out who it is, what industry do they work in and what problems do they have. Once you've defined that, then you can kind of create your offer and very specifically speak to that audience, speak to that specific person actually, and communicate what you can offer to them. That brings me to the next principle, which is predictable lead flow. With predictable lead flow, this is the core of any business. Because if you don't have predictable lead flow, you don't really have a business. Okay. If you're relying on word of mouth referrals, then you don't even know what business is coming through the door. Your income is going to be up and down, and you're not going to really know where you're headed in a year or where you're headed in 2 years. So you need to have predictable lead flow. So what does that mean? Predictable lead flow. Every month, you're going to have 100 booked calls. From the 100 booked calls, you might get, I don't know, 30 shows, something, just making up numbers here. 30 shows, you might get, I don't know, 5 closes. So now you can say, if I book 100 calls a month, I will get 5 closes or clients. Okay. And depending on whatever monthly retainer you charge them, if you're charging them $2,000, for example, times 5, you would get $10,000. And this is very doable for a beginner if you have your clear offer and avatar. So the predictable lead flow means pretty much you're having some kind of inbound or outbound flow of leads, and you know how many are coming through your door every month. Because if you don't have this, then you're just relying on random chance, and you can't really run a business on random chance, right? Word of mouth is not a business. Referrals are not a business. You need to know exactly how many leads. And there's really 2 ways you can do that. One is going to be inbound leads, and then the second one is going to be outbound leads. And so inbound pretty much just means that they're coming to you, and outbound means you're finding them. And this can be anything like cold DMs, and this can be something like personal brand. So this is principle number 2. Moving on to principle number 3, hiring and delegating. Really important. I mean, this is probably just as important as the previous one, and that's hiring and delegating. And the reason for that is, like, for example, when I first started, I tried to do everything myself. You might think that you can, and you might be able to. That's completely fine. I mean, if you're a real, hustler and you can just work super fast, get everything done, then yeah, I'm sure you can juggle a bunch of clients, but you're not going to be able to actually build a business. At that point, like one of my mentors told me, you're just basically a glorified freelancer. So you want to be able to hire and delegate, because unless your business can run without you, you're going to be just stuck and you can't scale. This video, we're talking about how to scale to 10K a month. If you're stuck at 1K, 2K a month range, you're probably trying to do everything yourself. You probably don't have systems in place, and you probably don't have a good hiring and delegation system so that you can give your work to other people that you know can trust and do good quality work that you've trained with your own SOPs, while you focus on the higher level tasks, which would be prospecting, getting more clients, getting on more calls, building up your assets, whether that be your website, your social media, all of the things that actually matter. Doing the actual work is not that important. It's important to have the skill to do the work, but that's coming from you. That's why you train them with your skill. You train them with your skill, they do the work, and then you focus on things that actually matter to actually grow the business. The more you're focused on doing other stuff like editing or doing delivery and all of that stuff, the less focus that you have on the things that actually matter. And the thing is, if you're switching focus every 10 minutes or even every hour, even every few days, you're working on video editing, now you're working on prospecting, now you're working on content, you're just switching focuses, and you're never really going too deep in a single focus. And you're not going to unlock the benefits of really staying focused on one thing for an extended period of time. So that's why you need to hire and delegate. Another thing you can do is hire, freelancers or specialized skill sets. Freelancers, you can do specialized skill sets, VAs, freelancers, and then finally, what you want to have is your core team. So these are the people who are pretty much the most important to your team. These are the people that you can't really replace. These are the people who are with you through your day-to-day operations. So you want to have your core team to be like the best talent you can get. And these are the people who are really a part of your business and who do like the higher level tasks. So this is the process that I use. I've actually also built automations to do all of this stuff for me. So this is actually a fully automated process. Gets posted, is all done by script, by bot. Once it stays up on those boards, I filter in all these applications. We get 100 applications. Then we shortlist them. Then I interview them. And then once whoever passed the interview, maybe it could be one person, maybe it could be a couple of people. Sometimes it's good to do 2 people at the same time. That way you can kind of split test and see, who's the one who's a better fit. And then once you do the hiring process, you can just write them an SOP on Notion, and that's it. Now you've pretty much outsourced that entire part of your business to somebody else. And that way, like I said, you can scale, you can move on to things that actually matter. And as you bring on more clients, all you have to do is expand your workforce, and you can continuously bring in new clients. without you not being able to scale anymore. Just juggling 20, 50 clients is impossible. Okay, so hopefully that helped you on how you can build a 10K per month AI automation agency. I didn't go too much into my offer. That's not something for this video. My offer is very specific. I'm not really gonna leak it because then everyone would just copy me. But I can give you the framework of exactly how I did it. Now it's up to you to go ahead and figure out what your clients exactly want and then create an offer to them, because everybody is different. Everybody's serving a different market. So what I'm selling doesn't even matter unless you were to actually go and find your own customers and actually figure out what it is exactly that they wanted. And that's how you're going to get the best results. Because if you have your own unique offer that's unbeatable, then nobody can compete with you, because you're going to be the only person who can do that and the only person who can do that better than everybody else.